everyone, welcome to another episode of Peg City Chat with Nat. This one's coming to you on a fine Wednesday morning in my car, and I'm thinking about podcasting and how the meaning of podcasting, etc. And I've had Peg City Chat with Nat for quite some time, and it kind of ended up evolving into interviews with different people, local, global, you name it. And so I didn't want this to be just a podcast of interviews. I wanted this to be a podcast of me talking with really anybody and all of you about different topics, Winnipeg and beyond. But I'm thinking because of how the podcast world works, I need to probably niche down and figure out what that's all about. But it's worked for me so far, so I feel like I need to stick with what I'm doing. What are your thoughts on that? I don't know. Anywho, I have had great success with doing some local interviews and local chats. But I also want to talk about things that perhaps I don't have a guest to speak with me about. And for example, this morning, I posted on my Instagram a quote about making sure that you stay far from the folks who belittle your ambitions and stick with the folks who are great, because they will want you to be great too. I talk a lot about cheerleaders and having people in your corner that are supportive but also constructive. And it's so funny because I've had so many relationships change in the last, 5 to 10 years. People who you just know are not negative, they're positive, they want to see you do well, you want to help them do well. Those are the relationships and the people that you want to have in your life. And excuse me. And because of the world we're living in with social media, etc., it can really get convoluted when you look at some of the relationships. And I can say that a lot of my online friends, who perhaps I haven't met in real life, I would say are true friends. There are people that I would consider cheerleaders in my corner. And yet there's people that I've known for years that I would not hesitate to just walk past on the street and not even say hello. How wild is that? Isn't that crazy? Anyways, so when I'm thinking about these relationships we have with people online, offline, what have you, and how we need to nurture and foster them, it's so important to remember that we're people, that we are not robots, that people have emotions, we have feelings, we cry, we get angry, we laugh, we do all these things. And you want people around you who can celebrate all of your emotions, who are there with you no matter what, not just when you're happy-go-lucky and having a great time at life. You want people around you who are always there for you no matter what. And I have so many people that I could list off that do that in my life, and I couldn't imagine life without them. From my cousin, who I've done numerous podcasts with, who is a personal trainer, lifestyle coach. He is amazing, and yet him and I talk about any and everything, whenever, however, 2 a.m, that kind of stuff. And of course, let's not forget our spouses and significant others as well. Like my husband is my bestest friend. Tell him any and everything. We talk about any and everything. But I'm talking more about relationships with people outside of that kind of nucleus of your family home, right? So people that you potentially maybe work with, people that you work out with, people that are online people. I've recently started going to some blogger brunches with a bunch of boss ladies, and a lot of these ladies I've known online, and some of them I would consider to be friends only because we continue to stay in contact outside of those special events, and that's really important as well. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to chat about the fact that having cheerleaders in your corner is important, but making sure that they are constructive as well. I would love to have someone telling me that every single thing I do every single day is perfect and awesome and great. But I know it's not. And I love the fact that I have people around me who will call me out on stuff, and not in a negative way or a horrible way, but will say, hey, well, did you think about this? Or, hey, did you think about that? And because those people do that for me, I'm able to do that for them and for other people. And that's so important in this life right now. And again, I go back to social media and how you can get so caught up in people who appear to have perfect lives and whatnot, because that's all they share on social media. But at the end of the day, when they get home, when they're at home without the phones, without the Instagram, without the Facebook, what are those people like? Are they, super depressed and anxious and pretty much cry every day? But yet on their Instagram, it's all beautiful and pretty and flat lays and all this kind of stuff. So it's really important that real relationships take precedence in your life as well. Don't get caught up in the social media, what would I call it? Utopia that it looks like, because I can tell you right now, a lot of that is just for show. It really is. Anywho, this is just a little chat I wanted to have. And so for those of you listening, if you have some additional commentary as it relates to relationships in your life and people who surround you in life, your cheerleaders or your people who are supportive of you and whatnot, I'd love to hear about their characteristics, why you consider them a cheerleader, and what are some of the things that you think about when it comes to the relationships, real relationships, in-person, face-to-face relationships that you have right now. What makes them special? I'd love for you to comment, message, tweet, whatever. Get back to me, because I would love to hear it. And in the future, I hope to do more live podcasts where you can chat live and submit your commentary, etc. I'm in the process of building a great podcast schedule about various topics to talk about, and I hope you will join me on Peg City Chat with Nat. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.